Hello and welcome back to Goswick Lane. Are you tired of feeling like you have no flexibility? What do we say? Are you flexible? Physically? I don't know. Physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally?
The more flexible that I've become in my life, the happier I've become.
Okay, I think that's something we could probably focus on today.
Yeah.
Before you got into the entrepreneur space, you were very stringent on what you did, very structured. I would not say that was a terrible thing. I think it helped you a lot in your career at the time. But then you just told me that being flexible has brought you more joy in your life. What do you mean?
So I think as entrepreneurs, we're wired to think we can control it. But when you can flexibly adjust and build a way to be able to do that, you recognize that you can kind of enjoy the moments in life that are spontaneous.
Yeah.
As opposed to going, no, I'll have to do that later, and maybe never getting a chance to do that again. We're really trying to focus on what is it like to run a flexible business, but I think we'd really be lying if we said we figured it out.
We haven't figured it out.
We're figuring it out.
And I don't think that's going to stop.
No, I don't either.
Like, how flexible do you want to be? Do you feel like your business controls you? Do you feel like you don't have space or time for anything other than that? And do you feel like that if you're not being consumed by your business, then you're not being productive? You know, that's a lot of this stuff's mental.
99.9% of it is understanding and knowing why you think what you think, and being able to work backwards from there. And now this is all perspective as from not working backwards.
Yeah.
You know, it's perspective now.
We've all not worked backwards.
So typically speaking, I read the books, listen to materials, and I give Shane the cliff notes.
Yeah, this is like Brandon's my little yellow book.
Yeah.
The little yellow cliff note.
And it works great.
Yeah, it does.
And that's how I am in many of our partnerships with other business owners. So I read a book called The E-Myth, and it basically said...
I did read that one.
You did read that.
Half of it.
So, and it's real simplistic, and we're seeing it play out 5-6 years later, but we didn't get what it was saying completely other than the concept made sense.
It's like the game you don't truly understand the game, play it until you've really played through all the rules. I'm learning soccer right now. I'm still learning soccer. My boys play it, and I've been watching them for 3 years now, and I still don't know all of the rules, but I promise you that if I played in a men's league soccer league for about one season, I figure all that stuff out pretty quick.
So what you're basically saying is application combined with knowledge creates faster results and more understanding of what to do next than just knowledge. How did you, Brandon, or you, Shane, get to the point to where you're getting to do these things you really enjoy? We're not even talking about money.
We'll get back to flexibility. This is leading back to it.
This is coming back to it.
And when people see that you have somewhat of a flexible lifestyle, most people want to know, how do I do that? But most people don't want to do what it takes.
And it's because most people, I was one of those people, is told what time you get to work, what time you leave, how you take off, if you're approved for taking off work, when you get paid. So what we try to do is we try to take that framework and start thinking about how I can get freedom of time, and they are two different mindsets. It's a different world. It's like leaving one world and going into another, and it will scare the bejesus out of you.
But it also, like, there's such a freedom from when you were a principal, education industry for what, 10 years, and then you got out and you're a business owner, you're your own boss or whatever. That first year was probably just a windfall of bliss and being scared at the same time.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. I love this word, dichotomy. It was a dichotomy between the freedom of my time and I have to really cash in on it. And I made a lot of mistakes as far as how I handle family time, because I associated I have to work all the time because I have this freedom of time now and I have no guarantee.
Yeah.
So
there's a different
but I felt more free than I'd ever been.
There wasn't somebody at a certain time.
100%. So I might have worked as many or more hours.
Probably more.
But my cup was becoming more.
Yeah, and I think as you progress from there as a business owner and entrepreneur, is like the flexibility is less about being physically available and more about being mentally available to God, to our family around us. If I'm at home, kids get home from school, the kitchen table getting some work done on my computer, and my sons love to ask me to play football. That's the recent thing. Let's play football in the yard, Dad. Am I mentally available? Do I feel like I can give up that 45 minutes to an hour to go play with my kids? And can I be there like really physically and mentally be there with them? Or am I just going to be playing football then thinking about the work that I needed? Because I might as well just do the work. I don't know. They may not view it that way, but
I think giving ourselves grace as we grow is something, I'm only speaking, that we don't do well. I'll use a real life example. Yesterday, I was out in the yard on a phone call, all by choice. These are cool conversations business wise. My kids had just gotten home and the boys wanted to play baseball. They started playing wiffle ball in the yard, and I just started throwing to them while I was on the phone.
okay.
Now, I'm not saying that that's fully available, but it was also, I'm doing business with people who love the life they're creating to have time with their kids too.
Yeah.
So they're not bothered by it. That flexibility is key.
Yeah.
Compared to if I had a 4:00 meeting at my old job, I'm there.
All the way, physically, mentally.
Yeah, I can't
All of
detach
it.
from
The main reason I think we're trying to be flexible in business, to not let our entrepreneur minds and business we have going on in business control of our lives. Now, those are the things that we all love to do that. If you're watching this podcast, you're probably an entrepreneur that loves business. But how do we keep our priorities our priorities? And how do we not make a business a priority over God and other people? So there'll be more about this. If you want to hear more, if you're getting any value, hit that like, share, subscribe button. Remember, love God, love others, and let your work reflect that.